super interesting. The way the playoffs have shaken out is actually really, really interesting, and has completely changed the fates of a lot of teams, I think, or the potential fates of a lot of teams.
Yeah, yeah. I think because when we did this before, some of the matchups have changed since.
Yeah, the playoffs
So
were literally not decided until the last game of the season, which is
right,
crazy.
right. So right about now
Let's
we
do
got
East first.
East first, Bucks, Pistons, Bucks in four.
Yeah.
Um,
Pistons might get one because Blake Griffin is actually playing really, really well, and
yeah,
he might win them a game if his leg is okay.
yeah.
He's got a pretty bad leg injury right now. He's wearing a bionic leg out there.
By
Have you seen it? Dude, he look like
yeah,
he wearing a styrofoam cup.
yeah. He looked like somebody went too far with their creative player.
But yeah, I got you. Bucks in five or less.
Okay.
Toronto and Orlando. Now, see, this is interesting because Orlando
Uh-huh.
has been playing
Really
like
good. Yeah,
fantastic
really good.
since like about the All-Star break or something like that. For that reason, Orlando and Brooklyn are interesting because they both started out way worse than where they wound up, like in an abnormal way.
Yeah, yeah. I still think Raptors in five.
I want to say Raptors in five too, but I want to give Orlando the credit
You should
of
say it.
saying
You should just say
Raptors in six.
it.
I want to, you know what? I want to believe. I want to believe
It's
that they're turning into a good team.
yeah. I mean, well, they don't have to be a big, good team to beat the Orlando Magic in five. I think if Orlando Magic get first of all, the fact that they're in the playoffs is a huge win for them. Second of all, if they get a game against the Raptors in the playoffs, a 58 win team, I think that's a solid season for them to build on going into next year. So
Yeah,
I think we're definitely giving them their due if they lose in five. So that's just me.
that's
Um,
fair.
the 76ers against the Nets. I have the Sixers in seven.
That's an interesting one because Joel Embiid's health is really shaky.
Oh,
The
and they can't win without
Sixers,
him.
the Sixers are very top heavy. They've
Hmm.
basically got 5, 6 players,
Hmm.
and I mean Boban's pretty good, but then after that though, they're really shallow, and the Nets have a lot of depth at the guard position where the
Hmm.
Sixers are particularly shallow. They got JJ Redick and Jimmy Butler, and that's it basically.
Hmm.
So yeah, and then you got TJ McConnell trying to deal with either D'Angelo Russell or Spencer Dinwiddie or Karis LeVert is like that's interesting because the thing about the Nets for me is they're a knockout punch team where they shoot a lot of threes. They play really hard. They play really really intelligently. So the Sixers, I mean, on paper the Sixers should win in five, but I wouldn't be surprised if that was a long series.
Yeah, I think at seven. The Celtics and the Pacers. I got Celtics in seven. That matchup didn't change. That one was there. I think that might be the only
Yeah,
one that didn't change.
that's the only one that didn't change.
Yeah.
I got Celtics in six.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. I think Indiana pushes them, and then Kyrie goes nuts in Game Seven. I got the
The
word.
key for the Celtics is Gordon Hayward looks like
Oh,
he's rounding
he
into
is.
health.
He is looking really good.
And credit to this show, we've been supporting Hayward all
Yeah.
year.
Yeah.
He's been getting beat down in the media for
Hmm.
having a broken leg last year. I don't know what else he's done wrong to these people,
Yeah.
but he's on the normal trajectory for a guy recovering from a severe leg injury.
Yep.
He's not been disappointing. He doesn't look washed up. He looks like he's getting his legs back.
You know what it is?
And what's that?
It's esports.
You're not a very mature man, Brian.
Oh God, help me. Help me.
Why are you
Oh
so
Lord.
salty? Why are you so salty? You want me to let you redefine esports? I'm not gonna let you do it. All right, let's
Oh
go to the
my.
West Coast.
Okay, you're right. You're right. You know what? That is absolutely correct. I do. I would like you to let me redefine esports. That's what I
Yeah,
would like.
and show it. Don't don't talk about it. Be about it. You
Yeah.
make a successful esport that looks nothing like any other esport ever, and I'll be like, Brian, you did it.
Now, all you got to
Way to
do,
go, Larusso.
is get me some money, and then I could do it.
Hey, look, man, I'm not here to hand out to you the tools you need to succeed. But as it is, you have to live in the real world, not the one in your head. So that's where
Well,
we are.
see, no, you make the one in your head real. That's what you do.
That's what I'm telling you to do.
All
I ain't
right.
saying you can't do it. I'm just saying do it.
All right.
Then you
I'm
went
gonna
out
go.
here and asked me for money.
I did. Hey, you gotta, you gotta ask.
No, why would
So,
I give you money? I,
where?
I I give you no money and I'm still right. If I give you money, maybe I'm wrong. I like where I am.
No, that I
I'm
don't
like,
like
I'm like Israel Adesanya.
that's very selfish. All right. So Golden State against the Clippers.
Yeah, it's Golden
Um,
State in four.
yes, absolutely, 100%, 100%. We got the Nuggets against the Spurs. I have the Spurs in 7.
So do I. And the funny thing is, it's not because I think the Nuggets are bad. I
Right.
just think this is out of all of the teams they could have gotten from six down. This
Yep.
is even I would say five down. This is
Mhm.
the last team they wanted to see.
Yeah. And if you think about it like this: one of the Nuggets are the number 2, and the Spurs are the number 7, right? But they're only 6 games apart in the standings.
Right.
So
Which is not that's
we're
then matchups matter at
right.
that point.
We're not talking about, this is not a normal 2-7. So,
No.
it's not. So, yeah. So
Yeah.
then we got Portland against the Oklahoma City Thunder. Um, I got the Thunder in 6. Now, if Nurkic hadn't hurt himself, I might have something different. But I can see Steven Adams dominating this series with offensive rebounds and limiting Portland to one shot a lot. Um,
Yeah, I think rebounding could be a serious issue for them, even though Ennis Cantor's a good rebounder,
yeah,
but
he's just a
he's
bad
a
defender.
terrible defender. Terrible
Horrible.
defender. And he's going to be in the pick and roll with Westbrook and Adams a lot. So
Yes.
here's the thing about OKC. The stories on OKC have been a little weird. First of all, people are talking about they're entering the playoffs off of a downward spiral. They actually won 5 in a row, and they're
5 games
7-3 in
in
their
a row,
last
so
10.
I don't know what people are smoking.
Yeah, and literally, I think every analyst said that today, which is ridiculous. The story has also been that the problem is Westbrook is really up and down. He's been terrible. Actually, Westbrook has been pretty fantastic since the All Star break. Paul George got hurt, and
And how can somebody who's averaged a triple double for the 3rd year in a row be playing horrible?
that's fair question, Brian. But if you his percentages, his shooting
Yeah,
percentages,
but
but
horrible. The
here's the
word
thing though.
horrible.
Yeah,
Yeah,
before the All Star break, he had a lot of alarming shooting percentages. But after
yeah,
the All Star break, he's been pretty much Westbrook again. His pull up jumper hasn't been as consistent as it was last year and the year before, but his
mhm,
post up game is way better,
mhm.
and he's been distributing the ball better and
Yeah,
making better decisions overall. And he has some teammates that are hitting better shots.
yeah.
So
And
when it comes to
I was gonna say the last 2 months, he's shooting about 33, 32% from 3-point range, which is about Westbrook.
right, and he's shooting them in clutch moments too.
Yeah, the
So
free throws are still bad though.
the free throws are bad, but they've been up and down rather than just horrible. There's been times where he has come through for them and look like old Westbrook from the free throw line. So that's a you don't know what you're going to get situation. The thing about it is, in terms of you don't know what you're going to get, is really Paul George. Will he get enough rest to be healthy? Because even when he's played well, he's not playing as well as he was before the All Star break. So like if you watch the games, you can see, okay, he's driving to the basket fine, but his shot is just not the same. He's clearly dealing with some issues in the upper body. So if he's healthy, Portland is at a severe disadvantage. If he's not healthy, then Oklahoma City is going to really feel the fact that they lost Alex Abrinas, because that's another reason that they're not performing as well, because they didn't have shooting to lose, and Alex Abrinas got dismissed for the team for, I don't know. I mean, he probably slapped somebody he shouldn't have slapped. I don't know what he did, but
Yeah,
he's off the team, and they now they're relying on Terrence Ferguson to hit shots consistently. And if Paul George ain't hitting shots, they just don't have enough shooting. So they could get shot out of the series if Paul George is not healthy. But if he is healthy, then they should win it in six.
Yeah, I got them winning in six. I think that I just think that on the inside, I think is where we're going to see Portland really suffer. And I think that's it. I mean, Paul's shooting 3-point shooting is down a little bit over the last 2 months, but it's still about 35%, which
I mean,
is I mean
he was up in the high 40s before that.
he was in the 40s for the middle 2 months of the season, and he's dropped down. But I still think if he's knocking them down at that clip with everything else that he brings, he's still okay.
Well, here's the issue specifically. He goes through periods where when he's cold and Westbrook is on the bench, if he has one of them 4 for 12 nights, that's the run that other teams are making. That's putting OKC in these close games where they're losing by 3 and 4 and 5 points at the end. And so when he was playing well, him and Schroeder on that second unit was like playing another playoff team. Now it's more like playing a bubble playoff team. So he needs to be Paul George when Westbrook sits down. That's the change he has to make. It's not about his overall percentages. He can survive his cold streaks when Westbrook or Schroeder are on the floor hitting shots. But when he's the leader of the team, he can't be my shoulder sucks Paul Pierce. He has to be closer to what he was in the middle of the season. It to beat Portland, who's going to make shots.
Yeah, I think I feel confident that he'll be okay. I think he'll be fine, based unless he further injures himself. But in the state that he's currently in, I think he'll be okay, and I think they'll be okay. All right, so the last series of the year, I mean the year of the of the Western Conference playoffs is the Houston Rockets against the Utah Jazz. I have the Rockets in five.
Same here. Man, this is annoying. Our picks are all the same,
I
but
know, I know, I know.
it is what it is. Yeah, Rockets in five. First of all, I think Houston is very good right now.
Yes,
They're a different team than what we were judging early on. Part of it, to credit to him, is Harden. Harden is one of the best offensive weapons in the history of the NBA,
he is.
and he's really feeling himself right now. Chris Paul has been allowed to round back into shape and become part of that team. They have more depth. Fareed is playing well for them. So they've added to that team, and since Bizdelic has come back, they've been. And then obviously Clint Capella came back a while ago, and he's consistently been doing his thing. So and having Fareed come off I actually think they're better than last year
Hmm,
right now.
hmm,
I don't think they've been better all year,
hmm.
but Harden is better. They have Fareed. They have Austin Rivers. Chris Paul's healthy and has had a lot of rest. I think currently they are better than they were last year, and they've also got those scattered bodies around in there too.
Hmm.
Your Gerald Greens and stuff like that. So I think
James
Houston is deep.
James Ennis, yeah.
Ennis, exactly. He'll come pop up and just throw 16 points at you for no reason. So I think they have fixed the we lost Ariza problem.
Hmm.
I think Fareed is a significant addition. So is Austin Rivers. Austin Rivers doesn't always have to be great. Austin Rivers just has to be solid defensively and give, them that extra playmaker,
Yeah,
from time to time. And because Harden and Chris Paul are so usage heavy, they so ball dominant. Um, a little bit of good play from another guy matters a lot. So yeah, I got them at five,
yeah,
and I think going forward, there's some really interesting matchups because Houston would have to face Golden State in the second round, and Oklahoma City is going to get. They're not going to have to face Houston or Golden State in the second round. So now you're in a situation where it's like, if OKC is at their best, they can wind up in the conference finals, which would be great for them.
yeah. Because I think we're definitely looking at Golden State and Houston in the second round, which is crazy. And
If that doesn't happen, one of those teams messed up real bad. I mean, obviously it's not going to be Golden State because the Clippers just
yeah,
mathematically cannot beat Golden State
yeah,
unless a series of injuries happens,
yeah.
which obviously none of us want to
But
see.
Oklahoma City and San Antonio is a pretty interesting second round matchup.
I think Oklahoma City beats that team.
I think
Russell
they do
Westbrook
too.
is in a small group of players that Greg Popovich
can't he,
struggles
he
severe.
can't do nothing with it's
Can't
it's
deal
it's
with him.
it's just it's very similar to what you were talking about with Kobe. Um, he has Popovich seems to struggle with perimeters, attacking relentlessly attacking perimeter players, and
I
that's
think what it
exactly what
is,
Kobe was.
if Popovich had his full lineup, maybe he'd have a chance because
Yeah, because he got big defenders.
yeah, and they're athletic, right?
Yeah.
Because Popovich usually he likes to have those shooters
Hmm.
and those playmakers at the guard positions, and they tend not to be strong enough for the Kobe's and the Westbrooks of the world.
Yeah.
And the physical dominance of Kobe Bryant over Manu Ginobili was a serious factor.
Hmm.
And Bruce Bowen, as great of a defender as he was, Kobe just figured him out. And Bowen's just not athletic enough to actually stop Kobe Bryant.
Yeah, he's just beating
So
them up. After a while, he's just fouling them. He's just using all your fouls.
yeah, and the same similar thing with Westbrook. Like at this point, I mean, nobody's stopping Westbrook from posting up right now. Like he's the best post up guard in the league. I think Kyrie Irving's in that conversation. Kyrie more from a skill standpoint, Westbrook more from a physical standpoint.
Hmm.
But Westbrook is bodying people down there, and it's a nightmare right now. And I don't think San Antonio could deal with that, particularly when you're throwing Paul George on DeMar DeRozan.
Yeah,
Just
yeah, but I think
sucks for DeMar.
I think Lonnie Walker is an interesting matchup for Westbrook on the defensive end because Lonnie Walker's 6'5", 205, strong, athletic. I'm whenever I can, I'm giving him a look, trying to do his best against Russell Westbrook.
The
So,
problem I think is experience.
oh, absolutely,
What
and he's not going to get
Westbrook
any
is
calls.
correct. He's not going to get calls. Westbrook, despite his offensive struggle, has a lot of tools. He's got Euro step finishes. He knows how to draw fouls. He knows how to post you up. He does have the pull up, and it's a situation where, and it also his passing. And I think Lonnie Walker, for him to have a good defensive series against Westbrook, I think he just needs more NBA games under his belt.
Yeah, yeah, but he
In the
physically,
future, maybe, but not
yeah,
this year. Maybe not
physically,
next year, but year after
yeah,
that, maybe.
physically though, he'd be the guy who
Dude,
I
I've
look at.
watched Westbrook post up Evan Turner. Like
Yeah,
he don't care right now. You know what I'm saying? I'm
yeah,
watching him post up guys 6'5", 6'6", and he's still coming out. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
so. Yeah, I'm so that would be a very interesting matchup going forward. But
yeah.
they got to get through the first round first, and Portland is not an easy out by any
No,
means.
they're not. But
But
yeah,
that sucks for Portland though, because they drew their worst matchup too.
yeah, they
Which is
did.
that's what's funny is that I think Denver and Portland drew their worst matchup.
Hmm. Definitely, definitely. So yeah, the first round should be interesting. It starts on Saturday, early. The first game is the Sixers and the Nets. I think it's like 1 o'clock Eastern time. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting. Are you are you are you down with are you adopting the Nets this year?
We mean adopted the Nets.
I mean, because I know the Knicks are your squad.
Yeah, well, the Nets are what I said they were from the beginning.
No,
I'm
I'm talking
from
about
Brooklyn.
are you gonna, is that gonna be
I
your
always root for the Nets. They're a
okay,
hometown team. I'm from Brooklyn,
okay,
right? Like if somebody like where are you from in Chicago?
South Side.
South Side. So if they made a specific South Side Chicago basketball team, you would want them to be a good team, right? Like you would want them to, but they're new. Like of course, you can't
Well,
reconfigure
I'm a little
40 years of
strange.
rooting for them.
I'm a little strange because technically I'm supposed to be a White Sox fan, but I'm not.
Hmm.
I'm a because the White Sox are the South Side team. The White Sox are actually the team that most black people root for. But I don't hate the White Sox, but I'm a Cubs fan.
But
Whenever they,
imagine if they created the White Sox this year, like if they
Mhm.
had never existed. They have no history in your
Right,
town,
right,
which isn't
right,
exactly true for the Nets because we got Dr. J and stuff. But I wasn't
yeah,
born then, so
right.
and that was But yeah, no, I root for the. I've always said the Nets have not won my heart yet, but I want them to do that. I can't sit here and lie and be like, oh, I'm a Brooklyn Nets fan now.
Right.
Um, I'm always going to be a Knicks fan. It's not a competition thing. The only New York team I feel the need to root against is the Jets because they're a horrible blight on the sport of football.
Oh wow.
But yeah, they are. I mean, you've seen them.
they got new jerseys, and new jerseys look nice.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I don't even want them to be good. I want them to continue to stink because Jets
Wow.
fans are delusional, like Cowboys fans, and they need to learn. Apparently, they don't learn every year, and they have to learn again.
You want it?
But no, the Nets. I would love nothing more than for the Knicks and the Nets to be the best two teams in the league. That'd be great, and I would
That would be amazing for New York.
root for both of them. So yeah, no, I'm pulling for the Nets. I always pull for the Nets. I genuinely like the team right now. Kenny Atkinson is coaching the team well. D'Angelo Russell grows with every dribble. Like literally, if you watch him play, he makes so many smart passes throughout the course of a game. It's unreal. People think of him more as a scorer, but he's a true point guard. And they've got a great group of guys, behind him. Harris and Dinwiddie and Allen, and just great organization right now to root for.
Yeah, I would. I think they are a cool team to kind of follow right now. I would agree. I would agree. See, and I think because I just agree with you, I think that is a perfect place to end the show because
Feels wrong, but let's do
that
it.
that that is, I think it's just a perfect spot. I mean, we didn't do that a lot today. We did not agree a lot. And
Except for every playoff pick and almost every MMA pick.
yep, no, well, we only did two MMA picks.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So well, we did all right. You would you like to hug? No?
I'm good.
Okay. Okay, no
So
problem.
we'll save it. We'll save it
No
for a
problem.
special
No problem.
occasion.
No
If you
problem.
guys, okay, I'll tell you what. You guys get Zion, hug on me.
Oh wow. Oh wow. Oh wow. I almost don't want him now.
Either way, you lose.
Whoo! I kill me. I kill me. Mm, mm, mm. All right, everybody. I appreciate you all coming through and staying. If you are one of the 18 that are left here, you guys are fan freaking tastic. You understand me? Do you understand me? You're freaking fantastic. And I'm giving a virtual hug to all 18 of you right now. All right. Well, uh, for Nelson, we would like to say goodbye and we wave. God bless and peace.